I'm Margot Yecies. I'm a 15. I'm originally from San Francisco Bay Area, and I double majored in music and theater at Dartmouth and have been living in New York City for the last 4 years, pursuing the performing arts. I definitely immersed myself in theater and music and everything. I double majored in the two of them because there is not a musical theater department at Dartmouth. That doesn't exist. I had interest in other disciplines besides music and theater. I was really interested in history and international relations, and in high school I really liked French, was like one of my favorite classes. So I was interested in those things, but to me, not only did studying that for 4 years seem kind of limiting, I also couldn't imagine myself caring about it for an entire career, an entire lifetime. So while I have interests in other departments, I don't think I've ever really thought that there's anything else I care enough about to make it my life's work. Right out of college, I worked at the New London Barn Playhouse, which is a summer stock regional theater in New London, New Hampshire, that used to be run by a Dartmouth professor and is still run by someone, his name is Keith Coughlin, who, I don't know if he's a professor, but he teaches at Dartmouth. And they've hired Dartmouth students every year for decades. So I got very lucky that I got to go immediately there and work as a summer for a stage manager, or as a stage manager for them for the summer. But like anything in theater, it's short term. So that was a 4-month gig, which was really nice to have somewhere to land after graduating and not feel totally aimless. But then it just delayed it. You know, it meant that instead of feeling aimless in June, I felt aimless in September. In the arts, that's always what there's never not a job search. You know, auditioning and searching for a job is part of the job. You know, there's maybe some sort of disbelief that you can go to a school like Dartmouth with an amazing academic reputation and be just as jobless as any other actor or any other 20-something. So as a woman of Dartmouth in the performing arts, I feel that it has differentiated me from some of my peers who maybe went to other schools or maybe no school at all or whatever their situation may be. I guess it differentiates me in some positive ways in that it shows there's a lot of stereotypes that actors are unintelligent or people who do the performing arts are not necessarily intellectual, and for better or for worse, when people see an Ivy League school on your resume, they're going to assume that you're smart, which isn't actually always true, but they're going to assume that, which is nice, that they are going to look and be like, oh, you're probably really smart, that's good. But it also means that, you know, Dartmouth has no reputation as a performing arts undergraduate institution. So if I maybe had a different school on my resume, people might say, oh, I know dozens of actors who went to that program and they're all very talented. I think Dartmouth has prepared me for the real world, so to speak, in that I am able to talk about other disciplines, which isn't always true in the industry of the performing arts, because you have to be so dedicated and you have to have been taking dance classes since you were 2. A lot of those people are very good at that and good at nothing else, which comes at a cost. And so I think Dartmouth has prepared me by allowing me to speak intelligently about a number of topics that are not always related to my job, and that's a valuable life skill. But I think it's underprepared me as far as some of just the practical knowledge of how to navigate that industry, in that Dartmouth doesn't do a showcase in New York for their graduating seniors to meet with agents, which like a BFA musical theater program might do, or Dartmouth doesn't have a dance department in an academic setting. That's barely a thing that exists here. So I think they've prepared me as a well-rounded liberal arts mind and not as a performer. The ultimate dream would be to originate a role in a Sondheim musical. More broadly than that, creating new work is something I'm really passionate about, and the opportunity to originate musical theater characters and roles is really exciting to me.